All right, so I just got back from The Predator to give you a little breakdown of my thoughts on the previous films in this franchise. The first Predator is a masterpiece. It is the epitome of great science fiction, action, horror, everything. It is one of my favorite films of all time. The second film is ridiculously over the top, but I still fully enjoy it. And the third, Predators film, I loved on my second viewing and wasn't a huge fan of on my first, so it was a great revisit for me. Now, getting into this film itself, and I did a spoiler discussion for all three of those films if you want to check them out. But as far as this film goes, I had heard about the production issues. I went into it with my, expectations pretty low for the most part. I also had a friend, Sean Roberts, work on this film and told me that it was a mess of a production and he was going to be surprised if the movie turned out even, coherent. So I will tell you that the first 2/3 of this movie I thought were great. I really enjoyed the comedy, the characters, all that stuff. The story is fine. Everyone's shitting on it, but I don't think the story is that horrible by any means. It's just basic. It's fine. And a lot of actors that I enjoy here. Boyd Holbrook, who I've really enjoyed recently, especially in Logan. We've also got Olivia Munn in here. We have got Thomas Jane. I thought Thomas Jane was great in this. We've got the guy from Moonlight. I thought he was excellent in this. I got the guy from Key and Peele, Keegan. I thought he was really, really funny in this. And we've got a few other familiar faces as well. And I really, really enjoyed the, how the ragtag team here, the band of misfits that they collect here, that ends up being together with Boyd. I thought that the chemistry between them, I thought the jokes, the humor, all that stuff was landing a lot for me. So I was really enjoying that stuff. Then we get into the third act of this film, and this is where I can tell studio meddling happened. It gets way over the top, very silly. I was actually kind of getting upset because I was like, no, the film was starting to fall apart. And I'm a person who can detach myself from that kind of stuff. I can enjoy what I enjoyed and have an enjoyable time. I don't let things ruin it for me. But the last act of this film, I didn't think was executed anywhere near the potential that was leading up in the first two acts. It was just messy. It was messy and as I said, disjointed, and I really wasn't a huge fan of it. And the very, very end, like the last scene, I thought was outright idiotic. And so that was really angering because it's like this big buildup of like, what is this and this and that. And then when you see it, you're like, what the fuck is that? That's awful. So I don't know what that was. I don't know if this is an attempt for a franchise or whatever, but god damn it, stick to making one good film. Stop worrying about the future. Not everyone can be the MCU. But, overall, I had a really good time watching the first 2/3 for sure. I really had a good time in that first hour and 20 minutes because the movies are about 2 hours long. So those first two acts, I was laughing my ass off. There's a good amount of gore. People are like, oh my god, the gore is like an 11. I don't think they watch the same movies as I do. For maybe like a modern theater released film, it's pretty gory. But for some of the shit I watch, it isn't extremely over the top gory. Another big issue I have is there is a good amount of shoddy CGI on one of the Predators, and I was not a fan of that at all. And there's a good amount of it in the gore as well. And CGI gore is a tough one because a lot of the times it ruins the moment. It can work, but man, it doesn't a lot of times in this. But there are some really good gore scenes and really fun kills and unexpected moments and stuff. It's a Shane Black film. You come to expect very unexpected moments. That being said, there isn't a ton of unexpected character deaths or something. I think that kind of goes very traditional. and that was a little disappointing. I think that that's yet again someone screwing with what Shane Black and Fred Dekker would want to do. But it very much felt like a Shane Black movie until that third act. And then the third act felt like someone came in and took over the production. And that irritated the shit out of me. I would love to have seen what Shane Black would have done with this film had he been given, you know, full creative freedom and delivered the film he wanted to deliver. It's frustrating. I hate studio meddling. There's so many films that have been just I could think of so many examples where people come in and they fuck these movies up that could have been great. But is it a theater watch? Not if you live in an area where it's super expensive. I know some people will pay like $20-something per ticket or something crazy, because I just think that third act will ruin the film for you. So maybe wait for it to get to home video or whatnot. But if you can sneak in for a matinee or something, I think the first 2/3 may be humorous and fun for you. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of disappointed because this could have been great and it just didn't live up to its potential, and that's a huge shame, because I know that Shane Black kind of started his career with Predator and Lethal Weapon and whatnot, but he was starred in the original Predator, and this is like him coming back to a franchise that's probably very close to his heart, and it kind of got taken away from him a little bit, and that's a huge bummer. But so yeah, I don't know, that last act, yikes. All right, guys, let me know what you thought. I know a buddy of mine just saw it and he hated it. I'm curious on if he liked the first 2/3 and the third act killed it for him, or if he just outright hated all of it. I don't know. But let me know what you guys thought if you went and saw it. And yeah, all right, guys.